I wanted to demonstrate real quick about what you can do with Reboard and the fun stuff that you can do. It's super interesting. We've had a lot of traction with a lot of people. A lot of clients are interested. A lot of you know that we did attend a booth in Chicago recently with Reboard, and it was like the hit. And I'm probably going to say a lot of the same things you guys hear on the weekly calls or bi-weekly calls that we're on, so you guys probably hear a lot of the same stuff, but it's still really good. All right, are you able to volunteer?
What?
Just say yes.
Okay.
So, and this is Jonah. Jonah's going to help out with us too, so thank you guys. And with that, we're going to get started here.
Will you call Jessica to tell her you found our cart? She's been looking for it.
One second. You know, when you get to an age, I used to complain, or I used to tease my wife about this all the time. And then it started happening to me. All right. We're just going to go ahead and go. Steps to it, please.
You're kidding, right?
What? You can do this. You can do this.
Right.
That's right. Thank you. Before. No. I have an ultra sharp Reboard saw. Inside, please.
Don't do it.
Ready? Ultra sharp. You know how part of the straps. Oh, it's gotta slide out. The box is gotta slide out. Ready?
No way!
All right. You hold it, I'll tie this together. Take the blades out.
Oh, thank God.
Undo with a shackle on the feet.
Andy, is that how you feel about HR?
I'll help you down.
Thank you.
Really cool stuff. It's great stuff. It's really, I've been in the industry for 36 years, believe it or not. And I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything function like it. And that's what's so exciting about it. So I've been looking for this material for probably 3-4 years. Because I know what we wanted to do with our builds. We just didn't have the material. It's almost like technology catching up with what we want to do. Our material is catching up with what we want to do. So, Pam, you want the first slide? Of course, it's like magic. And we have a lot of slides, but they're going to go really fast, so don't worry. Go ahead, next slide. So the first thing that people say when I talk about Reboard, they're like, oh, it's just like Falcon Board. And I'm like, yeah, it's exactly like it, but it's completely different. Because a lot of people know rigid paper substrates, that's Falcon Board, because that's dominating the market. That's what people use. It just can't, it can't do what we want it to do. I'm going to pass this around. There's a sample of Reboard peeled back, and there's a sample of Falcon Board, and so you can see it. And what we really wanted to do with Falcon Board is to V-cut it, and we want to fold it. And we can't do that. So we want to fold it and make a structure out of it. Right now we use Falcon Board, we're stacking it, we're wrapping it like a present, we're printing on cardstock with matte white perm, and we're putting tape on it, and literally, this is no joke, there was a Chanel display that we did, had 2 miles of tape. So all this stuff, like Shannon's talked about, all this stuff is bad, so we're trying to get rid of all that. Make it smarter, make it easier, and make it more environmentally friendly. So, next slide, Pam. So that's what we're trying to do, and so Reboard is really, I think, a great answer to a lot of that. And you can see here, so Falcon Board is a brand name. It's also known as hexacomb. A lot of people make a hexacomb type material. When we try and cut it, there's so many air holes in the middle, and the liner is so poor that it just tears when you cut it with a knife. So you can see with Reboard, it's so much more dense, so you can cut it, and it cuts like butter. And actually, our cutting department likes a lot. The faster you cut, the machine is cutting, the better it actually cuts. So an extra bonus that we have no idea about. So cutting is like, can we switch everything we do to Reboard, not do Falcon Board anymore? It's like, no, Falcon Board still has a purpose. We're still going to use it, but we'll use Reboard where we can. Next slide. So Reboard is made in Sweden, and whenever I tell people like that's where it's made, they either laugh or they're like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Because it sounds really scary of getting a supply of something somewhere else. But we're working directly with Reboard. Yes, it comes over on a container. Yes, it takes 4 to 6 weeks, but we're working directly with Reboard to make sure that we have a steady supply, because we don't want to prototype, we don't want to price it out, we don't want to get people excited about it and go, oh, we really wish we could do it, but we can't, we don't have the material. So we're working with them to make sure that that supply is going to be constant. So they have stuff on the floor for us, they can send out at any time. We're keeping a supply in the warehouse, so we're going to make sure that that's always available for us. And of course, it comes from Nordic forests. Nordic forests are very interesting. And I've said this before, but they're very particular on what you can cut, how much you can cut, when you can cut in the forests. For obvious reasons, right? We don't want to create deforestation, and so they're very particular on when we can do that. They also plant 3 trees for every tree they cut down, which is great. And just doing that alone is great, but they've done the science and have studied the ecosystem, the animal life, the insect population, and they make sure that they don't disrupt that. And so they're planting the right trees in the right areas that maintain that same ecosystem they have today. And actually, the forests are growing every year. So 70% of Sweden is covered by forest, which is almost double of what it used to be 100 years ago. So not only are we having sustainable materials, but we're actually growing their forests and growing that. Usually when you hear about harvesting forests, we have deforestation and animals start leaving and you have bears in the neighborhoods and all the animals have nowhere to live. So we're actually they're growing the forests in Sweden. Of course, Reboard is 100% recyclable. The middle part, the brown part in the middle, is already 100% recycled. The liners are virgin material, but the fibers in the liners are so long. When you recycle paper products, the fibers break down and they get smaller and smaller and smaller, and so you can only recycle so many times. When Reboard goes into the recycling pool, it actually increases the whole entire recycling pool of paper and makes it better because the fibers are so long and so strong. So it actually makes it a better pulp when they're recycling. Of course, it's FSC certified, and they replant trees whenever they cut some down. I'm not going to go through all of this, but if you want, they have an LCA report, which is a life cycle assessment. This is very interesting. It goes all the way from when they start to harvest the raw materials, to producing the actual board, to converting it, to transporting it, to people using it, and what happens when it's all done. So this is a very comprehensive cradle to grave report that we have available that we can share with you, with your customers, and it's a really good story. So all that's available. And on the next slide, we actually can see there's emission data and what kind of CO2 output is used when you're harvesting, when you're producing, when you're transporting. So all this data is available, and it's very interesting. It's very, very well done, and the science behind it is rock solid. So what kind of Reboard is there? Well, we have black, 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 and this is actually a really nice dark black. It's a nice, very solid black, but sometimes people like to use these for big cutout letters to put up on perimeter signs. So there's lots of different uses for it if you're seeing the line or the middle part of it. And a lot of people don't like to see it, but if you do, you can always have it be black. We have white, white, white. We also have craft, craft, craft. Certain brands like to tote that they are sustainable and they want their signage to look like it and they want their fixtures to look like it. So they purposely make sure that those raw edges are exposed. And they want to merely tote the fact that they're sustainable. We also have a basic, which is a white craft white. Right now we use the premium, which is a white craft white, but the liner is very premium, a very rich white, very high white point, so it prints really well. The colors are very vibrant. But they do have another basic version with a white liner that's not quite as nice, but it's more economical. You can also get it in a fire retardant version, so if you have anything hanging from the ceilings, make sure you can pass fire inspections. Assembly is interesting too. So on the next slide, they have some pre-engineered clips, pins, things like that. You can actually screw into it. It's a lot like wood. It will still pull out, but the screws that we've used so far are pretty solid. I'm very, very impressed. The threads are more like a drywall screws, so they're very big, but it really bites. And I was actually working on this project here. We were trying to decide on how to close the top, and we'll talk about that a little bit. but we were driving screws into it and it held very well. And they said, well, we're gonna open and close, how many times can you screw it? So we started testing and we did it 20 times and it bit every time, so I was really impressed with it. But they have little corner posts that you can put on the cover-up edges. They have pre-angled angles that you can just take square panels, plug them in, makes a clean finish, connects the panels together. They've got product hooks, they've got closures, so they've got a lot of things that we already can tap into and use for our assembly, and it's pretty easy. Right now we're using a lot of tab and lock systems because it's free, it's kind of hassle-free, but they lock together really well. So we have lots of options on how to assemble them. This is an interesting thing with Reboard, and we've done a couple of experiments. So like with Falcon board, when you're doing a flat sign, a lot of people want to try and edge band it. There's just not enough surface area with the middle core, and so with Reboard you can. So they have some pre-rolled liner that you can buy. It comes with an adhesive, you can get white, you can get black, and so it's just a roll, and we literally just put it on. It's super easy to use, but it's already ready for us to do. On the next slide, we started doing some experimentation. So Connie had some silver material, some poly that was already mounted to 12 points, so we cut some strips, put some adhesive on the back, and they were looking great. We put them in different heat areas to try and see if heat affects it and if it starts to release, and it was really good. We were very impressed, and it's been up, I think we have those going on 10 weeks now. So we can edge band with our own material, we can edge band with the rolls that Reboard has available. It's hard to see because that's a mirrored finish. But some examples, everything here is made out of Reboard. The platforms, the piano, the cello, the background, everything here was made out of Reboard. And this was another big one. This was in Australia for Sephora. This is a very, very big structure, and we've seen some of the structures that they've done, very impressive. Even with the booth, big structures that we connected with no tape, no pins, all connectors made out of Reboard. And the seams are very, very clean. It's hard to see where the seams are.
How did they get the height there? I mean, is it literally stacking sheets on top of each other?
It is. What they do is have a flat sheet, you fold a flap down on the bottom, the one below it has a flap folded on the top, you connect them. So you do have a clean seam. It's not like you're just stacking paper on top, sheets of paper on top of each other. There's little flaps that you use to make a clean seam, give it some structure, and gives you a place to connect. And actually, here it is. This is the magical connector that we use. When you have two flaps together, we have a slot, you slip it in, drop it down, locks them together. You can take it apart when you're done, like a lot of places have trade shows. You put it all together with these, when you're done, you just take them out and it all comes apart. So something that you can use to put them together, but then also reuse over and over and over. This is actually the one here. This is for a company called Glass Media, and we met them at the Rice Show. There was a booth right next to us. And what they have is they have MDF shadow boxes, and they have an LCD screen in the back. And it's a product glorifier, so they'll put a shoe or a boot, and in the background they're playing a forest scene like you're walking through the forest on a hike, or they'll have a bottle of vodka or whatever, and they'll have a party scene in the back. So it's a product glorifier. So we went over and we're talking with them, and we want to be good booth neighbors, right? So we want to talk with them and see how their show is going and stuff like that. And then we're like, you know, we could probably make those out of Reboard. And they're like, what? And so we talked with them, and they're really, really interested, and so they gave us the first couple of projects. We now have 4 projects that we're working on for them. They're excited because MDF is not recyclable. It goes in the landfill. It's heavy. It takes a lot of effort to use it, especially when they're big sheets. So they're very interested in saving on the cost of shipping because of the weight. When I shipped them the sample, they said, I just had a call with them the other day, and they said, we didn't think you put anything in the box. We're like, did they forget to put it in? Because it was so light. The box is 4.5 pounds, and right now their box is like 30 pounds. So it's a big weight difference. And actually Reboard has 80% of the strength of particle board and MDF, but it's 10% of the weight. So, And with the wood, you can only powder coat it or paint it, flood colors basically. With this, you can print whatever you want. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So they want to start seeing some texture stuff. They want to see wood texture. They want to see concrete. They want to see stucco. They want to see all these textures. So that's been really interesting too. But this one was an open and closed system. They said, we're going to come and we're going to swap out this screen. So we want to open and close it over and over and over and over. And so we put a little locking system so that they could do that. Talked about it. They want to change their minds. They want to push it in from the back. That's fine. But so these are just a couple of shots that we took of them. Another one for Chanel. Traditionally, these are done in MDF, and so their goal as a company is to try and get rid of all the MDF and everything that they do for obvious reasons. So Connie did this, and it's basically just a bunch of plinths shoved into a rectangle base. But I want everybody, before you leave, your job is to come up and touch this stuff because it is so rock solid. If you squish the side, you can't squish it. It's just so solid, and seeing is believing, and touching it is even better. So come and touch some of the stuff before you leave. And this one actually, we sent unassembled. Usually their stuff goes completely assembled. They pull it out of the box, put it on the floor, they're ready to go. They're trying to change some of that, I think maybe with shipping costs. So one of the first ones we did, we shipped these all flat, and they showed them a video on how to plug them in, how to connect them, and they did it, and they said, it was a piece of cake, it was easy. But it's super, super light. This was at Chanel. Andrew Dyson and I went there to talk about Chanel with this fixture here. And it was fun because as we're talking, we're in an area where there was other cubes. It wasn't like a conference room, unfortunately. But we're talking about it, and they're asking questions, and they're like, what the heck is this stuff? And they're getting really excited, and then when they get excited, I get excited, so I start talking louder. And so other people in the room started popping their heads up over their cubes, and then like literally some of them came over, and I'm like, hey, and they're like, well, we just heard what you were talking about. We just were really interested. Keep going. And so we had like 3 extra people come over during a meeting, and it was just really cool because they heard what we were talking about and were super interested in what it can do, what it does, where it comes from. So it went really, really well. And I don't know what Clark is wearing for an outfit, but don't matter to me. Don't matter to me. But yeah, he loved it. And actually, we left the sample there for them, of course, and he called, a week or 2 later and said, hey guys, our marketing group just walked by and they saw this and they're freaking out. Can you give us some pricing on 100 units? Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's cool. And so they're excited. Somebody else we were doing for another buyer, actually this space right here, we were gonna do it the traditional way, but we decided let's try it out of Reboard. And this is actually a really good story. I'm gonna deviate a little bit. Reboard is more expensive, not gonna lie. It's not as expensive as you think, but a traditional base this size would have been 11 parts. It would have been a corrugated structure, might have had some Falcon board, would have had fillers inside, and then once you put all that together, FA's got to take and peel all the tape off the wrap, put it on, wrap it, and if you get it wrong in one spot, it's toast. You got to start all over. So there's a lot of waste to it too. FA is super good, don't get me wrong, but when we're putting prototypes together, we screw up sometimes and it's just a waste. So this literally was 11 parts, took 23 minutes to put together. This is now actually 2 parts. I didn't bring the guts with. This is 2 parts. Ron Kelly put this together in 3 minutes, and we puzzle fit it together. That's it. I do the other end, I'm done. There's no tape, there's no glue, there's no pins, and it's ultra fast.
You guys designed that?
We did. We did. And so you can use a lot of the woodworking type of design with this stuff because it functions a lot like woodworking. But it's literally that easy. And you can see there's no guts in there, and I can stand on it. I mean, it's just super, super strong. But that's the beauty of it. Yes, we're going to pay a little bit more up front, but I'm happy to do that if I can save hours and hours and hours of time in FA and then they don't come with pitchforks and torches and go, why did you design it like this? It's so hard to put together, there were so many pieces. I mean, everybody, it's just win-win-win. They're happy, we're happy, customers happy, we make some money. So that's the plan. We can also do cylinders, believe it or not. It's all in how you cut. And Reboard sent some people out to help us kind of figure out how to design it. They helped us dial in our cutting tables on how to cut it the right way with the right tools. And so we're actually starting to design in cylinders right now. And that is one piece with one seam. There's a couple of pieces inside that connect it and hold it together. Again, you don't have to wrap it. You can print directly to it. It doesn't crack. We've done testing. And the Toros can print on it really well. Of course, the Nyala can print on it exceptionally well. So it's been really, really fun to experiment with it. And actually, Lena's coming back out in a couple weeks to spend some more time with us and help us refine some of our ideas and our design techniques. Again, this is huge, huge structures. It's actually a guy that specializes in this. And the nice thing is Reboard has like a little design community, because Reboard doesn't actually have designers. They partner with other independent designers throughout the world. So Lena's in Belgium, Matthew Weller's in Australia, Maximilian's up in Vancouver, Mark Needham is in Ireland, and they share their designs, they collaborate, they brainstorm, and now we get to tap into all of that. And I've met a few of them, and they're just fantastic people, fantastic. Ready to help, ready to offer assistance, and just really, really good people. So it's really exciting, but this one is one that Max did. This is a table that is, he does all these funky shapes, and that's his specialty. You can go to the next one, Pam. Yeah, so he does a lot of these things. There's a couple of his from his portfolio in this deck. But super interesting. Of course, you can put it in the baler when you're done with it. It's ultra strong. It's really nice. You can go through the next one. Here's a couple more things that he's done. He's done some really big arches. Actually, he did one of the biggest self-supporting paper structures, I think, in the world at a European trade show. I think it was for BMW. I think it was BMW. It's all in meters. I don't know meters very well. But it was like incredibly big, and it was this flowing structure, and you could walk in and cars are parked in underneath it, and it was huge. I will find the images and send it out. But he does amazing architectural work with it. But it can be very, very clean. Yes.
Is there like some kind of exclusivity, or is it a super common material in the U.S. or kind of?
No, so Reboard's actually been in the U.S. for 3 years, and nobody knows about it because they partnered with a distributor, and the distributor just kind of sat on the material. They didn't promote it, they didn't offer it, they didn't do anything, and so Reboard's got a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth as far as like partnering with people in the U.S. So they were very reluctant, but luckily they worked with Swiss Q. Swiss Q said they were looking for someone to partner with for the rice booth who can print it, who can produce it and cut it. Swiss Q's like, you should talk to TBG, they're actually pretty cool and they do some really good stuff. And so that's how we kind of got connected. But I felt like we were really on this convergence because I went to Euroshop, saw samples of it, didn't know what it was, I wanted to have it. Swiss Q told them to come talk to us, they came and talked to us, we started talking with them. Someone reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, hey, do you ever work with Reboard? Because she's partnered with Reboard trying to bring it into the US as well. So it was like the universe telling us that we should probably use Reboard. But it's clean, it's can make very clean, crisp lines. It saves us on costs as far as assembly time, tape. It's just, yeah, it's like super board. I love it. And actually, this is so ridiculous. I actually have dreams about Reboard. I'm serious. It's stupid. It's stupid. I kind of blame him a little bit because that's my focus now. But I woke up, I was a few weeks ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I dreamt about it 2 days in a row. I'm getting worried about it.
Not nightmares, though.
No, not nightmares. They're all like really good dreams, but it's like, really, dude? Come on.
I'm just glad to hear you sleeping.
So,
we
but that's
stock
it.
now? Or?
We have sheets here. We bought everything in North America. That was already here. We have a container coming. It's going to be here in the middle of the month, and then we're planning on reordering some more as we need it. But we've got sheets here on hand, and We carry 10 millimeter and we carry 16 millimeter, which are the most common. That's like 3/8 and 5/8, but those are the most common thicknesses. We've got them in some variable lengths, and they're all come like 63 inches. So we try to maximize the container to get the biggest bang for the buck. So our sheets are set at like 63 by 90 and a half. Odd size, but that maximizes what we can get in a container. So that's what we have on hand. That's what we're going to continue with. Colleen, you had a question?
Yeah, for the same reason that we were asking for sample packages to send out to clients, could there be some type of trinket package that we could send out to clients that they could assemble and have at their desks? I'm just thinking of like Cody, send to them to get them, just to tantalize them a little bit to reach out. To see
Absolutely.
what it is.
And actually, everybody's going home today with one of these. You got a magic trick and you got a present. I mean, come on. But again, this is just a lock. It's a little puzzle piece lock. There's no glue, there's no tape. And we don't have the QR code in here yet, but we will get you a QR code to put inside your box. That will have a landing page going to a video about me talking about Reboard, because you want to see me talk about Reboard more, right?
So I need that, yeah.
Yeah, that's not in the video. That is not in the video. But everybody will have a chance. You guys can take these today before you leave. We'll get QR code stickers so you can drop on that webpage and watch the video. And yes, Colette, that is part of the plan, is to have some kind of kit to send out to your customer so they can play with it, they can look at it, and hopefully something that they can use, like a pencil cup or something. Not that people use pencils anymore, I don't know. But something they can keep on their desk, slip a picture in, whatever. But that way it's always there and they can see it. But yeah, you have to touch it, you have to feel it, you have to experience it to really appreciate it. Alice?
Yeah, internal cuts, is there like any restrictions on internal cuts, like in terms of sizing?
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Like how small?
Like how small, like?
Oh, sure.
cuts?
So like if you're trying to make shapes, you can, like a cylinder, you can only go down to about 12 inches in diameter, is about as far as we can go. As far as shapes go, we haven't gone much smaller than this, but I think this is 2.5 by 2.5. You can get a little bit smaller.
And we've drilled holes in it too.
You can drill holes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, you can
Yeah.
drill holes in it. So you can drill it, you can cut out an 1/8 inch hole in there, an 1/8 inch diameter hole for bolts or pins or whatever you want to put in it.
Like those square cuts right there,
Yep,
how big are they? How small can those go?
those are, right now, these are 1/2 by 1/2 little cuts. We can probably go down to almost 1/4 by 1/4. So you can go pretty small. But you can use hardware on it, you can use bolts. We are planning on bolting some things together for some of our projects.
I actually put hinges on that unit as well too, with the,
We did. We actually used hinges on the wings. We had the little wings that folded in. We put real hinges on them. We screwed them with real screws. So you can put hardware on it. It takes hot melt really well. Tape goes on it really well. We'll probably still use a little bit of tape, but we're trying to eliminate as much as possible. But the strength of this flat, it'll support 18,000 pounds per square inch, flat. So
That's crazy.
that's a lot of weight.
Are we mainly zone cutting or putting on
I
CNC?
think I get that.
You can CNC it, but the problem with CNC is when it's a splitting blade, it kicks up a lot of burr and it doesn't cut very nice. So we're doing strictly Zun cutting. You can do it. PDAB has experimented with it a little bit. You can also laser cut it, but it can start on fire. There's a lot of paper in there to catch on fire. So yeah, PDAB has experimented a little bit. And it smells really good when you're done with it.
Andy and I were playing around a week or two ago with textured, and I said, let's just see if we can fold it. We didn't think it would work, and son of a gun did.
Yeah, and it didn't bring that sample. Yeah, so texture, it's really hot. Of course, we had texture samples at the Rice Show, printing wood texture, printing tile textures, things like that. So you can feel it. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen.
Wow. That's so cool.
But I was told by Alan, I'm like, hey, can we fold it? Because, Glass Media wants to have like a really nice, rich, dark, rustic wood. I said, Alan, can we fold it? He's like, no, can't do that. So Matt's like, think we can do it? I'm like, I don't know. What can we do? So
Curious, right?
I V-cut a couple pieces and I folded it, didn't crack. So it's like, okay, now we're cooking with gas because that opens up a whole new area where we can start folding it and have it completely textured. So yeah, super, super interesting.
Did you go back and talk to Alan about it?
I haven't. So don't tell him I said that.
I did, I don't know.
Come on!
Well, it's because he had it. I showed it to him. Oh, right? He goes, oh, that's with the grain. I said, no, this one's against the grain. Okay. And then he said, he did put, so yes, but it was a lighter finish. So I think if you really layered it up, obviously it would. So this has a lighter textured finish.
I think this has 4 layers to get the texture, and we do up to like 8 or
Yeah, that
something
might
like
be.
that. I think if you do more
that's
layers and a
fun.
deeper texture, then you'll probably experience some cracking. But that's good to know. How deep of a texture can we do and still fold and get away with it?
And if you get a chance, they brought this to the rice show. Just stand on this. Or I can quick, right? But it's
It's hollow. There's nothing inside.
Right. It's unbelievable.
We should get a circus elephant to.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna go on to the West Whiskey presentation.
But it's super light.
Hey Andy, have they ever like the edge banding? Like, is there an opportunity to ever print on that in sheets and print it yellow and edge band now with?
Yes, so you can do that. So we experimented with that mirror stuff, but yeah, we just used 12-point cardstock. We flooded the back with LSE, 300 LSE adhesive. You can print it whatever you want. We cut it into strips, and you just apply it to
There's
the edge.
enough of the guts now to actually stick to something.
Exactly. So when you look at your sample that you'll take before you leave, you can see how dense it is, and so there's a lot of surface area to stick to. It's still not 100% flat, but there's enough where you can stick to it. So yeah, you can print anything we want on it.
Does edge banding change the recyclability?
No, because the edge banding is paper-based.
Yeah, it's not plastic, right? Okay.
Yep, so, and you can run this through the edge bander in the wood shop. So they started experimenting with it. You can do it. It's pinching it and leaving some marks right now, but they're looking at trying to dial back the pressure settings. But once they do that, we feel like you can do just straight edges, but you could edge band on the edge banding equipment in the millwork on their machinery. So better, faster, cheaper, right? Just straight. If we get an edge bander that can do curves, we can start doing that as well. But yeah, so there's like no real bad aspect of this stuff. I mean, like really. So it's not Falcon board. It's not competing with Falcon board. Don't tell me it looks like Falcon board.
Paper MDF.
Paper MDF. That's what he calls it.
Yeah.
Paper MDF.
Paper MDF.
Any other questions? All right.